Fantasy Rap
with Austin and Ozzy.
Oh, I just love those boys.
Hey everyone, this is Fantasy Rap, and I'm your host Ozzy.
And I'm your co-host Austin.
You can find us on fantasyrap.com. That is fantasywrap.com. Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of the fantasy season. Some really good games this week.
Yep, yeah, the Giants Cowboys. That one was
Well, yeah, from a couple perspectives.
well, yeah,
I mean, talk about drama. Talk about points scored in the fourth quarter.
yeah.
Talk about one team takes the lead with, I mean, there wasn't a lot of time left.
No, Yeah.
Any of the times that it kept on switching who was winning the game. Russell had a great game.
Yep.
That kicker that I took in the 5th or 6th round in our 16-team league that people are like, you never take a kicker this early. When is Brandon Aubrey? I think I changed the rules for Brandon Aubrey.
yeah,
My buddy Scott had him 2 years ago. Well, I made sure I got him last year, and I dang well made sure I got him this year. I mean,
Yeah.
30 points in my...
yeah. That's crazy. I mean, you watch him kick, and he just looks he looks so relaxed up there. It's just like he's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I got to nail this 64-yarder, whatever.
And it's it's so
like
smooth.
his run up to the ball, it's just calm. He's not rushing it.
He doesn't, and it's not like he is pushing the leg. I mean, he is, but it doesn't look forceful.
Yeah.
It just looks whoop, and there it goes.
It's like golf, where you hit your drive. I mean, obviously you get somebody like Bryson who can crush a ball, and he really tries to, swing the club. But a lot of these guys, it's that you get the tempo, and it's just effortless.
Yeah.
It's just it's like it's almost like the ball's not even there when they're coming through.
Yep.
So
Another interesting game, Detroit. I mean, I kind of felt bad for the Bears. I thought it was a little rude running up the score like that. I mean,
wow,
you weren't going to lose, but
if Ben Johnson was still on the Lions, it would have been the same thing. They would have done the
probably.
exact same thing. I mean, and I saw a clip afterwards, and of course the reporters are asking Ben Johnson,
and
basically about it. And he was like,
offended.
he was just doing their job. Like that's the organization. They were doing their job.
And
so.
I remember back to the days where the Packers used to get a 9-point lead, and then they'd go into prevent offense and prevent defense.
Yeah, it was
prevent offense. You didn't get a first down.
Yeah.
Prevent defense. You didn't stop them.
It was
you never prevented them from scoring.
It was like the Cardinals.
Yeah,
they got it was like 20-6 or something like that on the Panthers, and the Panthers almost came back and won it.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals gave them every chance in that last 90 seconds. There's so many penalties.
Yeah.
Well,
and then we go to the Indy game where Daniel Jones looks like a star. And it's interesting because, they got rid of Daniel Jones, and he looks really good. Mm-hmm. They got rid of a guy by the name of Saquon Barkley, and he only was the best player in football last year. Yeah. Who was the best defensive player last year? Or one of the better defensive players in all of football? Well, that would have been Xavier for the Packers. Xavier.
Oh, McKinney.
Yeah. It's like, these guys aren't very good, so we're going to get rid of them.
Yeah, so in 5 years, Cam Skadbu is going to be the number 1 running back.
Somewhere other than the Giants. But I sat there and I watched Indy, and, well, I didn't watch it. I was paying attention to it online, and, I'm like, oh, they're leaving themselves. They didn't try. Actually, I think I was watching at the time. They weren't trying to get a first down. Mm-hmm. They weren't trying to get it. They were settling for a 60-yard field goal from a guy who has never kicked one, I don't think, over 45. Yeah. And all of a sudden you get that leverage penalty against with no time, and it's whoop, they give him another chance, and guess what? You lost.
Yep.
So, our favorite segment. How did we do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, since we didn't get a week 1 recap, I lost in I won in my one dynasty. I think I'm 2-0 in my Dynasty League with our friend Nick. He's in first. I'm in second. I just put up a huge week in that league as well.
Okay.
This week, and then I lost in all the other ones in the main redraft Yahoo League with Nick and then all my high school buddies. I scored 78 to 79 points.
Nice. That's a.
Yep.
Do you have a stack?
So that wasn't even that league. That was that week one Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack was not good, and then this week
Joe
one
Burrow
half
gone
of
for
it
3
was
months.
amazing.
Yeah. And it amazed me that he did as well as he did.
Yeah.
With Browning doing most of the damage.
Well, Browning's been there for years now too,
I know.
behind Burrow. So it's not like he's a bad back.
No.
In
fact, a couple years ago, he was solid.
Yeah,
going into the playoffs for us.
I mean, he did throw 3 interceptions, but
he won the game.
Exactly. And people are freaking out saying the Bengals need to go out and trade for Jameis or something. And I don't think I think they signed.
Sean Clifford and
Brett Rippon, I think was the other one.
Maybe.
So they're going to roll with Browning. I think they're going to be.
No, I think they had Rippon. Rippon becomes their
squad or something,
Rippon becomes their backup,
Gotcha.
and they signed 2 quarterbacks,
Okay.
Sean Clifford and another guy. I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make sure they were covered.
Yeah.
The Packers were looking into. I forget which quarterback it was, but I was wondering if they were thinking about
moving.
the
league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
possibility.
I mean, I think the Bengals offense. Obviously, everybody takes a downgrade.
Yeah,
I think Chase Brown is the one that's going to get hurt the most, and probably T. Higgins. I think Jamar will be okay because Browning just hyper targeted. I mean, he had 14 or 13 receptions or something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might get to that. I think
probably.
I'm not sure he was a stud. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, it's because his projection's so high.
Right.
But
yeah.
So,
I mean.
Yeah, that's like Malik Neighbors probably didn't make the cut either for.
No, he didn't.
For studs, and he had a
Well, and it's mainly quarterbacks that just went off. I mean, you've got your Goffs, you've got your
Russell,
Russell.
Yeah.
My opinion has always been that I'm not a stack guy.
Yeah.
For the reason of week 1, quarterback sucks.
Yep.
Wide receiver has to suck.
Yep.
I've done it occasionally in our some of our picks, but I'm not a fan of it. And now there's nothing that can control whether or not a guy gets hurt.
Yeah.
So
then this week I lost 1, 2. I went 2-2 this week. So in the main Yahoo League, I thankfully for Keenan Allen catching that touchdown, and he's been great since he came back to the Chargers.
Yeah.
And then Genti not doing a whole lot, but the Chargers defense is really good. Yeah. So they held him in check.
Although they're without
Khalil Mack.
Mack. Were you watching?
Yeah, that was nasty.
Oh, man, as soon as it happened and they showed it a couple times, I'm like, that's probably a dislocated elbow.
Yeah, I was watching it with Britt, and I told her, I said that was always my biggest fear in high school was reaching out like that, trying to grab somebody and having somebody hit you.
Having that helmet come in or the body come in on your elbow and just hyperextend it in a sense, and then I thought I was looking for Ronda Rousey in there, and I thought she had the armbar on him, the way he held his hand right away. But I mean, I feel badly for him. That stinks when that happens.
So then in our Dynasty League, we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
I put up 200 points, so second highest scorer in the league this week, and I lost to Isaac, who scored 203 points.
Yeah,
so
that
was fun.
And 200
to make me 0-2.
Well,
to start
and
in that
to make
Dynasty.
it worse, 200 points is nearly unattainable. I mean, we generally are in the wins are in the 150, 60, 160, 170 range.
Yep.
Every once in a while, some team will go off. I mean, what I consider the best team in the league, Honchos. He scored 192 or something.
Something like that,
So I mean, and he has one of those unbelievable teams. But that's dynasty, and the funny thing is he's got 3 first-round draft picks next year because he traded away players that other people put too much value on, and I've been trying to get a couple of those first-rounders, but he doesn't want to deal them away. Ever. So sorry, were you done?
Yep.
Okay, so week 1 I went 2-3. I mean 2-1, 2 of my 3. I was second high scorer in 1. I was third high scorer in the 30-some year league, and I lost in our dynasty league. My guys just didn't do well. This week I was 3-0.
Nice.
I am now the high scorer and in first place in the Yahoo league that you and I are in.
Yeah, I'm 0-2 in that league too because of week 1.
yeah. And I went to 2-0 and scored the second highest points in our 30-some year league, which makes me feel good because I'm without Kittle.
Oh yeah.
Who I took early.
Yep.
But I picked up Johnson from
Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson from New Orleans, and he's, I believe, the top scoring quarterback across 2 weeks, or real close. I mean, tight end.
I think he's close. I think he's the most targeted so far.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's crazy. But with the quarterback situation as it is there,
it's Spencer Rattler.
Right. I mean, he's looking for whoever's open, and it's going to be the guy who's
either
right here,
Juwan Johnson or Alvin Kamara.
Right.
A lot of dump offs in that game.
So, you know. And it helps that in the 2 leagues with the kicker, I've got Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah.
Making sure that I win my games.
Yep.
So moving on, we are going to go to our injuries. And, of course, we've got Joey Burrow out for 3 months-ish.
If I'm Joe Burrow,
surgery.
I'm calling OSHA for lack of PPE in the workplace. It's just we'll just spend, however many millions of, I can't remember how much it is that they have tied up in Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. It's, so much. And
another
you need your
$30 million on Hendricks.
Yeah, you need your big playmakers, and you want to keep that core together. But, if Cincinnati, that's just. Yeah, I'd be filing a complaint with somebody if I was him, because it's, the wrist one like 2 years ago, that one was just a weird. I think that was like he hit a helmet or something. Yeah,
this was just a sack,
but he's
and the foot was
somebody pulled up the Andrew Luck, his stats of all of his QB pressures, the sacks he's taken, the hurries, everything like that, and Burrow has more in pretty much every category than Andrew Luck did. And Andrew Luck retired because he was tired of the rehab, and and I can't remember if he had any surgeries. I think he had maybe the one.
Didn't he have neck fusion or something?
Something like that, and he was
that's why he quit.
He was like, the team's not doing anything for me, so I'm taking my own future and health into my hands. And,
smartest thing ever. I mean, some of these guys, you look at
it sucks because Andrew Luck was on the way of being, one of the greats.
Well, you look at the kid from Wisconsin who.
Chris Borland. Yeah.
I mean,
I loved him at UW.
1 year.
Yeah, and he was like,
I'm done.
And he was great because he went to San Fran.
Yeah.
He drafted him, and he was great there for that year.
He was a stud.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, and it's not that he didn't love the game. It's I think a lot with the CTE and like you said, rehab. I mean, some of these guys, they're old enough. I mean, when Rodgers went down 2 years ago, you sat there and you said, is he actually thinking about coming back?
Well, that's...
I mean, there are 40, 50 million reasons to come back.
Yeah. I mean...
But when you've made as much money as some of these guys have made, whoa. Yeah, I get it. 50 million is a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
But what's another 50 million when you've got 200, 300, 400 million already made?
Yeah, and Burrow's young, still young, so he'll be fine, whenever he does come back. But to tie into another injury like Austin Eckler, Achilles.
Yeah.
And Eckler's, what, 30, 31?
Yeah,
like, he's my age,
yeah.
and been in the league. There's a lot of miles on Eckler.
Yeah.
Does he try and come back, I mean,
if I were him, I wouldn't.
Exactly. I wouldn't either. You saw when it happened and he's sitting there on the field and you can see his face and then he's waiting for the cart and you can just see in that moment to me, it looked like he was thinking he was just done.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like J.K. Dobbins.
Oh yeah. He's had quite a few bad injuries.
Yeah. Every time you blow a knee and you're sitting there
Nick
going,
Chubb.
am I going to keep coming back?
Yeah.
So
Nick Chubb too with his nasty knee injuries he's had, and he's scored a touchdown last night.
Yeah. Lucky one because he didn't have that many yards in the whole game leading up to that play. Next up, we've got DeAndre Carter, not a big name, but he's in concussion protocol. He's a wide receiver for Tennessee, I believe.
Okay.
Next up, Aaron Jones, hamstring, unknown how long he's been out, or he'll be out. I think he's on the downward end of his career. Well, I don't know if Jordan Mason is going to take away pretty much the rest of the carries and everything.
Yeah, well, I think I think Jones is already looking doubtful for this week.
Oh yeah,
and he's Jones has always been one who's missed a couple games here and there. Pretty much every season it feels.
He's getting old.
That too, yes, and again a lot of miles.
You're talking 29, 30.
Yeah, so and Jordan Mason, as a runner so far this season, has looked much better than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is obviously a very good pass catching back, so that's more of his forte. But
plus, he knows coverages and
that too.
And
he's really good at the pickups and stuff.
Right.
So I think Jordan Mason, even how bad the Vikings looked yesterday, or J.J. McCarthy looked yesterday, Jordan Mason's just, if Jones is out, Mason's going to get everything. So I think he'll be really good this week.
Yep. Justin Fields, concussion protocol.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's, you kind of, we're 2 seasons removed from Tua's bad year, and then you get Chris Olave too. Even last year had the bad concussion, and so it'll be interesting to see how the NFL handles it now that we're, because to me that was really anytime anybody was in protocol, it seemed like they missed at least 1 week.
Right.
Even if they had progressed through enough, it seemed like they missed a week.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it depends on the severity of the concussion. But he looked back to the Chicago Justin Fields in that game after looking really good week 1. Yeah. So I mean,
and I think you should expect a lot of that. I don't. I mean, it's not a great offense.
No.
I mean, a couple of players and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, so, because that was Pittsburgh week 1, right? When he looked really good, had the good game. I think Pittsburgh's defense, which is kind of crazy to say, is bad. They just had Seattle, there, and Ken Walker ran all over them. Darnold didn't do great, but he did okay.
Right.
I think Pittsburgh's defense is just bad, so I think that was some of it. But when Fields comes back, I think it's going to be it'll be a lot of flip-flopping back and forth between being decent to good, then just horrible.
Right.
So that makes it tough for your Garrett Wilson and even your Breece Hall, who's a really good pass-catching back.
He is, but it always seems like when you don't have a decent quarterback in there throwing, they bottle him up. I mean, Breece Hall, another horrible week after a really, a decent week.
Breece Hall looked really good week 1 too.
Right.
Right.
So. Next up, we've got Kyle Juszczyk.
San Francisco injuries, man.
Do they have anyone who can play this week?
CMC.
Yeah.
Mac Jones actually looked really good.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of joking that Mac Jones was the quarterback that Shanahan wanted to take over Trey Lance that year, but it sounded like that was more of a Lynch and the ownership kind of decision. Yeah. So everybody's like, oh, we'll see what Shanahan can do with the guy he wanted 4 years ago now, or however long it's been.
That environment, I don't, like we've said before, I think we talked about it last year. You or I could be a decent quarterback in that system. Yeah,
Shanahan's very player friendly.
Yeah. And that's not taking anything away from Brock Purdy, but they can take a guy and bring him off the street, and he's going to get,
Yeah.
I mean, well, they've got Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
I mean, that makes a huge difference. But they were without, they're without Ayuk, they're without Kittle. I mean, there was worry that Juwan Jennings wasn't going to play.
Which he played and ended up having a really good game.
Really
10
good
targets
game.
And whatever, and a nice touchdown. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got Austin Eckler, IR, out for the season, Achilles. We talked a little bit about that. Non-contact. Boom, he was down, and you hate to see it, especially. I mean, I'm a huge Austin Eckler fan. He is one of the true good guys when it comes to, he's done it for how many years at way below what he probably should have been making.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to him on the Chargers, he was the Chargers offense.
Yeah.
Then, with the rushing and then the receiving and all the touchdowns he scored for them. I mean, I agree. He probably should have made another $10 million on top of what he made.
Minimum.
Career.
I mean, he probably hasn't made $30 million.
No. I would be shocked if he has.
Yeah, I mean, they kept on holding him back at like $6 million.
Yeah, and then they bring in, Melvin Gordon too, and or had Melvin and then brought in him and kept Melvin around for a little bit, and so they've. Yeah, I agree. It sucks because, like we talked about a little bit ago, do you just hang him up because he's,
I think you do.
Because
I think for him,
really
he does.
Take 2 years to really get back.
Yeah.
And if he's
the
already
first year
30,
is a painful recovery, and then you aren't going to be as. It was tough enough for Rodgers. Yes, Rodgers has to have some mobility, but we're talking a running back.
Yeah.
When it's a running back or a wide receiver that has to make those cuts in and out, and it's just a different world. Next up, we've got Jaden Reed, broken collarbone. He had surgery today, and while he was coming out of his anesthesia, he said that the Packers were going to win the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. I like, I hope he's right. But, he was a little groggy at the time and prognosticator. So
it's too bad that touchdown didn't count.
Yeah.
Because I mean he sold out for that.
Yeah, he gave everything for that.
The defender came down on him and snapped it, and
yeah. Well, anytime, it's tough seeing guys land on those shoulders because I mean, you think about how small that collarbone is. It's there's not a lot there.
Yeah.
There really isn't.
Yep.
And I think it's the most broken bone in the body, or one of the most broken bones in the body, just because of the fact that so much hinges on with the upper body, the shoulders.
You slip and fall. You
the hand goes out.
Or you
there it
tuck
goes.
And you hit right on the shoulder or right on the
snaps.
top.
Yep. So he's out 6 weeks or so. Hopefully the surgery went well.
Yep.
Next up, we've got Jaden Daniels, knee sprain, day-to-day. He played the whole game. But
I remember when it happened in the game, he was limping around.
Yeah.
And he kind of waved the sideline off. They're I think maybe trying to get him out to get him or have him go down. But it was, I think that was later in the game.
It was,
and he was like, well, we need to score some points here.
Right,
so he
gamer.
it out.
Gamer.
Yeah.
I like the guy. True competitor. Sounds like they may hold him out this week.
Yeah. If they're smart, they will.
If they're smart, I'm sure he's saying, "Let me in."
Yeah. So
and so many of those guys
Carson
are.
Wentz, I believe, is it Carson Wentz is their backup there?
No, Carson Wentz is the backup for McCarthy. Carson Wentz will be starting this week in Minnesota.
That's what I saw. Yes. Yeah.
Jaden Daniels backup. I don't remember who it is.
I don't either.
So, next up, we've got Noah Brown, day-to-day with a groin injury.
Not really relevant.
No, he was last year against the Bears.
Yeah.
Don't you remember that game?
Touchdowns or
No. That was the game there was like no time remaining. Chicago had just gone up, and they threw that Hail Mary that went through the defender's hands, and he's standing there. Boop.
Yep.
So next up, we've got J.J. McCarthy out week 3 with a knee. Carson Wentz going to start. I picked him up, at the beginning of our dynasty season, so I'm going to try and get a first-round draft pick for him.
Good luck. Ain't getting one out of me.
Just kidding. Moving on, we've got our studs.
Yep.
And we start off with Jake Browning, plus 19.1. Obviously, wasn't expected to play. They probably had him at a point or two.
Yeah.
And, he goes 21 of 32 for 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't going to win games if he continues that.
No.
1 rush for 1 yard and a touchdown. The 1 rush for a yard and a touchdon really brought him back up because, the interceptions offset. He will very, very likely be the guy moving forward for the next, 3 months is about 13 games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, 12 games because there's a bye in there. So, next up we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are just gaudy numbers. 9 of 11 for 115. Not a lot of yards. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, those touchdowns, he had one that was like it wasn't like a big, long touchdown, but, it was decent. And then those other 2 were like 5-3, 3 to 5 yarders, just little, like the one he just eked out the side and he was wide open.
Yeah.
I
looked at some of that and I'm glad I wasn't playing against him. Weeks like that are kind of like, I don't expect that out of him every week. It was the Bears. And I thought the Bears defense was better than that.
Did I see that? Is it Jalen Johnson, their corner or safety or whoever? Yeah, out for the season. So that hurts a lot because as much as he runs his mouth, and I'm not a fan of him, he's a good player.
He is.
So that definitely hurts. And then you get whatever revenge game narrative you want to go, for Campbell and Johnson leaving when they, I'm sure he thought they had the, it's always the unfinished business because they didn't win the Super Bowl, but, get a chance to be the main guy somewhere else and get paid a lot more to be a head coach.
Yeah.
I'd take it too.
Yeah. Same thing's probably going to happen with the Packers after this year with Jeff Hafley.
I don't want it to. That would suck. But
the reality is that good defensive. Although to say that I'm a fan of Jeff Hafley, I'm not because I prefer a man coverage defense more than a zone. However, bringing on Micah and the pieces that we've got up front just wreaking havoc.
Yeah, well, you bring in Micah
lines.
and all of a sudden Van Ness looks great. Because they have to focus on Micah. And
then Van Ness moves inside
on the same side.
Yeah, but they move him inside, and it's just like wow. They could that could be a very special defense. And they showed a graphic or a picture of a screenshot of the game at one point where they were showing how Jaden Daniels had nowhere to go with the ball because here were these 4 or 5 guys rushing, but the coverage in a zone, the guys were right where they needed to be, and they aren't having to do things. It's not you're not giving them the time for guys to get open after the fact.
Yeah.
A rush, a pass rush should put you in a position where your defenders are that much better.
Yep.
Our DBs look like they're all world.
Yeah, like Keyshawn Nixon had like 5 pass breakups or whatever.
And Ballantyne.
Yeah.
He's actually, I believe he's got a higher rating than Keyshawn Nixon. They're just, or excuse me, he doesn't because of that Tesla touchdown.
Yeah, stuff like that shouldn't count.
Right. Well, it's kind of like, I sit there and I think to myself, from a fantasy perspective, there are a couple of things I would love to see changed. When a guy gets called for defensive pass interference, the offensive players should get the yardage because it probably or it very likely could have been a catch had it not been for the interference.
Yeah, George Pickens would be like the number 1 receiver then.
He would.
Because he's always getting
mauled.
Called on him. Yeah.
Right. And then what was the other thing that I wanted to see changed? It'll come to me.
Tipped passes that turn into interceptions.
Yeah. That interception goes to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Not to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
That hit him right in the hands and bounced off. And
unless you're Kyler Murray throwing it or Tua throwing it directly to a DB or a linebacker, if it's a tipped, completely catchable ball and you just whiff on it, and it gets tipped, and that shouldn't count.
Yeah, I mean, there are just certain things that I would love to see from a fantasy perspective tweaked a little bit because of, a guy could have 5 targets, no receptions. It would have been 3 or 4 catches for 100 and some yards and possibly a touchdown, and you come away with 0 points.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous because someone was overly aggressive on defense and gets,
Yep.
So next up we've got the aforementioned Russell Wilson, 30 of 41 for 450 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception, 3 rushes, 23 yards.
Yeah.
What a game.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like I said, that was,
It was a fun game.
It was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah.
And
it was the first time ever that a kicker has tied the score with 0 seconds remaining on the clock and won the game in overtime with 0 seconds on the clock.
Nice.
Both last play of the. I mean, it was exciting.
Yeah.
It made it more exciting because he's my kicker.
Yeah.
But that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, Russell will probably go back to being Russell as we know it, and being he'll be. He could be 30 for 41 again next week, but it'll be for like 167 and 1 touchdown,
4 interceptions,
and 4 picks.
Yeah.
So he's going to be. I think he's going to be up and down a lot this year. It just depends on. They're going to be a team that, and I think Dallas's defense. Obviously, you get rid of Micah is just going to be horrible.
Yeah, but they could stop the run. Because
Cam Skadaboo had a decent game though, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm joking because they said that getting Kenny Clark, at least they'd be able to stop the run. Well, when you give up 450 yards passing, I don't care if you can stop the run or not. You gave up 450 yards rushing or passing.
Yeah.
So you have other problems than your rush defense. Next up, we've got Rome Odunze, plus 18.19, 711 receptions. 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was pretty much the offense for the Bears and looked good. And luckily I played him this week.
Yeah, I think this is truly him taking over. I mean, DJ Moore, they've got, 1 more year with him under contract?
Something like that.
And I think I can't remember if it's relatively expensive or not next year for him. But, yeah, you got Rome. He's still got Burden, who's still somewhat coming back from the college injury, working in. I mean, it's been kind of...
He's got a long way to go.
Yeah, it sucks with Colston Loveland because he's done nothing. Yeah. And I again, that was my worry with him, even in a dynasty, drafting him where he was going is just there's so many mouths to feed. And I've never been huge on Caleb Williams being a star. I think he'll be a decent to good quarterback, but being a star quarterback that can sustain that many viable fantasy options, I never had any faith in it.
He looks panicked too much.
Yeah, he still does, and I think some of that is because he did the same thing in college. As soon as he'd feel a little bit of pressure, he was one of the most athletic people on the field in college and could run and do those off-platform throws that he tries to do in the NFL. Yeah. But everybody else is faster in the NFL now.
Right. Everyone is your Alabamas and your Georgias. Yeah. It's not like you're going in and you're playing against Northwestern or Middle Tennessee Valley State or whatever.
So, but it's good to see Rome finally getting, the 11 targets is really, obviously the 2 touchdowns is great, but the 11 targets is, to me, the thing that really matters. Because if he can sustain that many targets, even if Caleb has an off game, he should still be fine.
Yep.
So
agreed. Next up, we've got Jared Goff, who, another one, plus 18.04, 23 of 28, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Goff does this every year at least 1 week.
Yeah.
Where he does this, where it's super...
it's 5 touchdowns.
It's super efficient. Only 28 passes.
Yeah.
Granted...
And only 5 incompletions.
The
same number of incompletions as touchdowns.
Yeah. Gibbs scored. Monty, David Montgomery scored as well on the ground. So... Yeah. That's just the hyper
when you throw
efficiency.
51...
Yeah.
And they've done it. They've done it how many times, over the last couple of years? putting up gaudy numbers.
Like I said, for example, Isaac, our friend Isaac in my main Yahoo league had Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. Well, he also drafted drafted Goff, and just kept him on his bench. So now he's going to be starting Jared Goff, and I was like, next week it could be
right.
It could be one of those where.
Too bad you didn't think about what might happen and play Goff this week.
Again, you wouldn't ever, like I said, he does this like maybe once a year where he just explodes like that. But next week could be 23 or 28, like kind of like Russell, for
117,
maybe 200 and one touchdown, and they still win the game by 3 touchdowns because Gibbs breaks one off, or Monty, they get Monty more involved.
Yep.
So,
Agreed. Yeah. Moving on to our duds. Joe Burrow, minus 16.82. Kind of hard to fault the guy because he got injured. So
I mean, they were clicking red.
Yeah.
7 of 13.
Well, that's not very good.
Well, still
10 yards, 11 yards a pass or a reception, but only barely 50%.
Yeah, I think he would have had a very good game.
Oh yeah,
with that, but yeah, I mean that just sucks. Like I said, if I was Joe Burrow, I'd be filing a complaint somewhere.
Yeah,
NFLPA or something. Be like, you guys got to talk to my team owners here because this is ridiculous.
Yep. Next up, we've got J.J. McCarthy, 11 of 21, but similar numbers, 158 yards, 2 interceptions, 5 rushes, 25 yards.
Yeah. I think, didn't he have a lost fumble in there as well?
Very possibly.
Yeah, I think he had like 3 fumbles, but lost one of them.
Yeah.
So
he just didn't. I mean, for the people that said, "Oh yeah, go with him, don't re-sign." Yeah.
Darnold. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have gone back to re-signing Darnold, but if it was affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, you drafted him for a reason.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Some of these guys, well, I don't know. I mean,
I just don't. I think in that situation with, Darnold kind of fell apart towards the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
But, had a very good start. It's one of those situations, and I don't think Darnold would be the kind of guy to be like the squeaky wheel, but it goes, it's how do you sit him on the bench, and then start McCarthy over him with him, how do you still have Darnold on the roster?
Yeah.
When if we're going to go with McCarthy, let's capitalize and get what we can from, out of Darnold.
Yeah, I just meant coming back first year after the knee.
Yeah.
Maybe you try and keep him for another year and ease McCarthy back into it. But, it's you drafted him. You've got, was he a first round pick?
McCarthy? Yeah, wasn't he? Like 9th overall or something?
Was he that? Or he couldn't have been that early. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But you've got him for 5 years. 1 is already gone.
Yeah.
And are you going to pay him that 35 or 40 million that it's going to take to put a tag or not the tag, the 5th year on
option?
Yeah, on a quarterback. I don't know. Next up, Derrick Henry. 11 rushes, 23 yards, minus 14.9. He broke some hearts.
After the amazing week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland's rush defense is good.
They are.
Even though, obviously you could tell because Lamar was just dropping touchdowns left and right. It felt like every time red zone popped on, it was a Lamar touching a passing touchdown. To Devontae Walker had 2. D-Hop almost had 2. Mark Andrews still sucks. I don't
know if there's any value with him anymore.
No, in that Yahoo league that I joined with you, I dropped Mark Andrews and picked up Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
might
as well.
He's just. he had a touchdown.
I'd pick up Juwan Johnson.
Had the touchdown, but the defender knocked the ball out. He didn't really secure it that
well.
Who
was that?
Mark Andrews. He had a touchdown, but the defender knocked the ball out, so it didn't count. But. The Derrick Henry one, he'll be fine. It was just that it was a weird game, because like I said, they, Cleveland really seemed set on stopping Derrick Henry and let Lamar throw all over him. So
yeah, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Justin Fields, 3 of 11, 27 yards, 5 rushes, 49 yards, minus 14.38. When you're 3 of 11, you're struggling. the 5 rushes
Yeah,
is
I was
great.
going to say the rushing yardage was great.
Yeah, especially when you're in fantasy where you're probably making either 2 or 2.5 points or times as many points from his rushing than you are from his passing.
That's what people were, Fields was kind of a, one of those flyer-esque
Dark
kind
horse,
of, dart throws at the end of the draft. If you've got one of the top guys or something and you grab Fields later, or, you got a, somebody with a little bit of a question mark coming in and you took Fields as a just in case. There was there's like people draft Drake May, in like the 10th round,
right,
and then take Fields in the last in case, so. Yeah.
Next up, Geno Smith, 24 of 43, 180 yards, 3 interceptions. I mean, he started it off with a pick.
Yeah.
On the very first throw. Horrible throw on that. Didn't see, a little late on the throw. Mm-hmm. Didn't see the safety moving down and popping the ball, hitting the ball.
Yep.
You just can't do that.
Yeah. Well, but Geno's the kind of guy, he did this stuff in Seattle too. Next week he could have Russell Wilson's stat line.
Well, and the reality is that the guy's been a 70% completion guy. Mm-hmm. 24 for 43, that is not Geno Smith.
No, yeah. I mean, to me, a lot of the stat line is also the Chargers defense being as good as they are. I think Chargers, to me, I think this is the year that they're going to make a legitimate run at a Super Bowl.
So it's going to be the Packers versus the Chargers?
That'd be cool, yeah. That'd be cool.
I can handle that.
The last time Justin Herbert played in an important game, a team from Wisconsin, he beat the shit out of them. The Rose Bowl years ago, and against
ran
the Badgers
for a couple of touchdowns. And I remember it. I was watching it downstairs.
That's what got him the super high draft pick.
I remember. So moving on, we'll go to our waiver wire. I left Daniel Jones at the top of the list.
So far, he's looked great.
Have they punted yet?
No.
The rumor has it that they're not going to punt this year.
Super Bowl era. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But, I mean, he looks good. They've got the offensive weapons. You bring in Tyler Warren as the rookie, who looks amazing. Whoopsie, Chicago taking the wrong tight end.
That's kind of
when
what
it happened. It was like, oh, geez, what? But
I was thinking the same thing. But what do I know?
You got JT, he had an amazing game. I mean, Daniel Jones, if you could stop vulturing his rushing touchdowns, that'd be all right. But
no,
he's got Daniel Jones has 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but that is Daniel Jones, though.
I know.
I mean,
they weren't even. Those were like tush push touchdowns that he got.
I get that, but I mean, he has always scored a lot of rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he's one of those sneaky guys where at the end of the season you're like, Daniel Jones had 600 rush yards, 5 touchdowns, like,
8 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns rushing. He's not the size of,
because it's Daniel Jones. That's why you're surprised.
Yeah, well, and he's not the size of Josh Allen, but it seems like he always puts up similar touchdown stats, or just a little bit less. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm not a New York anything fan.
Yeah.
Because I think it's while it's the most lucrative market, it's the worst market to play in.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that the coaches or management or ownership necessarily know how to run teams the right way. They're so hell-bent on what are our fans going to think.
Yeah, I think Dable's actually a good coach.
I do too.
It's just he's been handed a pile of crap.
Right.
So, he's been doing the best he can.
Although with Russell, he might have a decent pile of crap.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I don't know. I wish Russell had the great game and stuff, but I think he's going to be so up and down. I'd rather have Jameis in there and just say, Jameis, go nuts. Go
throw your 60 interceptions.
Yeah, but he's going to throw for 5,000 yards, and
Maybe
and he
6.
probably would match his, like the year that he had, was it 30 and 30 or whatever it was?
Yeah, 30-30.
I mean, but he's still.
Usually we talk about baseball players who are 30-30 candidates, but not a quarterback.
But I don't know. Like I said, I think Dable's a good coach, but he's just been handed a pile of crap.
Yep.
Every season he's been there. So
Doggy
you
doo-doo.
know, like I said, I mean, Indies, they've got the pieces there. You know, the defense is looking really good as well. You know, so he's just finally has the support of a well-rounded team around him.
Right.
So you know,
Agreed.
If he keeps playing like this, I don't think we'll see Anthony Richardson in a Colts jersey.
Very possible.
You know, next season.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Although Daniel Jones is only on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, but if
they'll
he
do
keeps
everything.
playing like this, I think they'll extend him or sign him. Or sign
when
him
he signed the 4-year, $160
something like that,
million contract, I was like, that's a pretty good deal for a quarterback as good as he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it was like, nope, they traded him to Minnesota, and he left there and went here, and he's looking like the quarterback that, you know, you keep him from getting sacked 78 times or whatever it was a couple of years ago, you're going to get a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
He is a good quarterback.
Yep.
Next up, we've got Hunter Renfrow from the land of misfit toys.
Well, he almost missed getting re-signed.
I know,
because his daughter was watching Bluey.
Oh.
she was watching Bluey, and his agent and the coach were blowing up his phone to get him back before anybody else could try and sign him or anything.
Well, they signed him after they traded Thielen.
Yeah, well,
or about the same time.
I think
he was. Remember.
They might have signed him when Thielen was still there, and then cut him, and then traded Thielen, and then, like I said, they were trying to bring him back.
Right.
And that's, apparently his daughter was watching Bluey, and she was declining the calls, not telling him that people were blowing up his phone. So.
Let's think about this. Would your 4-year-old
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
know to tell you that someone's calling you, or would she continue watching Bluey?
Actually, she's pretty good. Like, if she's got Brit's phone, she'll, and somebody texts or something, she'll be like, oh, somebody's, whatever. It's usually, grandma's calling or something like that. So, yeah.
Mom, it's the Carolina Panthers. They're looking to sign you. Next up, Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know if I'm sold on Wan'Dale Robinson, but he's getting a lot of looks.
A lot of targets.
Yeah.
I mean,
in that offense, if you can throw, because Malik Neighbors is a stud.
Well, this was what happened last year. Malik Neighbors had, through 3 weeks, had 15 more targets than anybody else in the league, and Wan'Dale was third on that list.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it started last year.
Yep.
So
it'll be interesting to see if he.
Fine,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes, but he's definitely worth a flyer in the short term. Next up, Troy Franklin. You saw Mims at the end of last year. The usage of Mims, big plays, anything they could do to get him in there, and now Troy Franklin is the guy.
Yeah, well, Troy and Bo Nix played at Oregon together, so I think it just took Troy a little bit to really get acclimated to the league.
Well, he's only a second-year player.
Yeah, well, so is Bo Nix.
Yeah, I'm saying Mims is.
Well, Nix also played for 8 years in college.
Yeah,
so.
he's. Isn't he a 42-year-old second-year player?
Something like that, yeah. But, Franklin, too. Cortland Sutton had a really bad game, really wasn't involved much, and Nix was also super efficient in that game.
Yeah.
I've got him in the Yahoo League. He threw those 3 touchdowns in the first half and then basically did nothing the entire second half, because I think they were trying to, same thing, your prevent offense, So, and then ended up losing that game, to Daniel Jones. So, I'd look Troy Franklin's way, or at least keep an eye on him, and just see what happens this week as well.
Yep.
So,
next up, Devontae Walker. Big name.
Yeah.
Just the receptor of, the receiver of, I think he only had 2 catches, didn't he?
Both for touchdowns. Yeah.
So,
he's popped, last year. I think he's a second or third year player as well. And he's had weeks like this, and last season he had a couple spike weeks. It's just crazy with the Ravens, because they signed Rashad Bateman to that. A big contract really for Bateman. And he's been nothing.
Yeah, I've never been a Bateman fan.
he's been nothing so far this year. It's been Zay Flowers, obviously, and Derrick Henry last week. And Zay Flowers had a huge week last week, too. So, he's one, obviously, I wouldn't add him yet, but definitely keep an eye on him. This next guy, I actually drafted in the main Yahoo League, and if
which
he's
is interesting,
there, I would.
Which is interesting because in some of the leagues he is available. Is he available in
the Yahoo League we're in? Yeah, because I was kind of.
I almost picked him up before this week.
Yeah,
but I didn't, and I went with Keon Coleman, who Buffalo receivers are like kissing your sister. There's nothing there. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't count on any of them.
No, I mean, it's because it's kind of the same as Green Bay. There's just no true alpha.
Right.
If you had a guy.
Well, and I'm not a big fan of. I mean, if Khalil Shakir is the top wide receiver. Oh, I mean they. So they use their running backs a lot. Josh Allen rushes a lot. They're not a pass heavy offense.
Yeah, I mean they never really except when Diggs was there. I mean he was really good. That 1 year and then half of the next year, but
till he started having more of an ego than he should.
Yep. The guy we were talking about was Keenan Allen. I know we kind of sidetracked there, but Keenan, I drafted him in our. I believe he had signed with the Chargers at that point, because we did our draft Labor Day, the weekend before Labor Day, so that Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday was Labor Day. So he had signed there, and again, super late round because everybody's like, oh well, but he's old,
he's 72 years old.
Back. Yeah. But I was like, well, I mean, he's only 1 year removed from being on the Chargers, and that year that he was with Justin Herbert, I mean, the guy's just a middle of the field, move the chains.
Yeah. I mean, PPR, no question.
Yeah.
But even in a standard league, he
scored a touchdown in consecutive weeks.
Right.
And if Quentin Johnston can remember every week that his hands are, he can actually catch a football,
That's what those are for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teams, you got to account for that. Yeah. And Ladd McConkey.
Yeah.
And
I'm a big fan of McConkey.
Yeah. And they're letting Herbert sling it.
Yeah.
Which has been hurting Omarion Hampton, which kind of stinks because he was sneaking up into like the third round in a lot of drafts. So, but Keenan Allen, I mean, I'm going to be starting him. I might start him over Devonta Smith this week.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
depending upon matchups
too.
And everything. Yeah.
So it's not a great matchup. They've got Denver, but again, if they want to keep the big touchdowns away from Quentin Johnston, there goes Surtain. But then you still got to account for Ladd, and Keenan, So it's just they have
the backs out of the
they've got so many options, and with Herbert playing really well, it's tough. They're going to get their points no matter what,
right?
So. Yeah.
Next up, we've got Juwan Jennings, and actually, we should also probably have Juwan Johnson.
Yeah,
the Juwan brothers.
Yeah,
I mean, both of them. I mean, Jennings had a huge game.
Yeah, disappointing week one.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had got banged up with the shoulder, but to come play through that and end up with the 10 targets. Granted, again, there's no Kittle, no Ayuk. Pearsall's been underwhelming so far, and I mean, if you started Juwan Jennings this week, I mean, props to you. I have him in that Yahoo league. I couldn't bring myself to start him because he was banged up and Mac Jones coming in,
Right.
But ended up having a nice game. And if Mac Jones plays again this week,
maybe you run with him.
And Mac Jones was great for Brian Thomas Jr. last year. He just hyper targeted him. So maybe that's what happens again. You get CMC, he's going to get his.
Yeah.
And then is all Juwan Jennings on the outside. So if he's out there, I mean, I feel like he's probably not available in most leagues.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, the league that you're in with me in Yahoo, well, that used to be an 8-team league.
Yeah.
So, you used to look at my roster and go, what?
Yeah.
Is this like a 4-team? Well, with some of the guys in the league.
Some of the guys like Keenan Allen's on the waiver wire in
Right,
that league.
right.
You know, you look at the waiver wire and it's a 10-team league, and you're like, geez. And then you move up to my other Yahoo league, and that's 12, and it feels like there's nobody.
Yeah, well, and go to my 16, and there is nobody. Yeah. Although I'm not sure if Wandale is out there. Troy Franklin's available.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow, I think he might have gotten picked up this past week.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is obviously gone because with 16 teams, almost everyone has two QBs just to be safe.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Well, that's all we've got for this week. Yep. Information if you want to reach us. We will bring back our other little segment, which is our loser of the week.
Oh, yep.
You're now in the league with the
our
friend Karen. Although she's well,
it's early.
Her team is horrible.
It's early.
I believe she's 0-2. I mean, anyone who's 0-2 in that league just sucks.
Yeah, God, who would be 0-2 in that league?
Well, it's funny because Isaac. You showed Isaac my...
Oh, yeah, and he's like, I don't like it. And, of course, the geniuses at Yahoo with their projections, I was supposed to, get second and only lose 2 games. So maybe that means I'm going on a generational run.
You're going
here.
on a bender. But yeah, he said, Ozzy's team isn't very good. Your team is the bomb. You're 0-2. I lead the league in scoring.
Well, yeah, you lose Burrow. And they have a bad week 1. You lose Burrow.
Yeah.
Drake London, this week was horrible.
Yep.
Yeah,
so. I lost Xavier Worthy the first week.
Yeah.
On the third play of the game, and he got me 0 points, and I'm still, the top scorer. So, you deal with it.
Yep. A lot of season left.
And I apologize for having missed last week and the podcasts. I had COVID, so obviously didn't want to infect you or your...
Really, the kids.
The kids. Well, and the funny thing is we were with you Friday night. Yeah. I was surprised you guys didn't get it.
Well, yeah, so...
Because Shelly,
Yeah, the girls, Sutton, her sofa was crawling all over at the restaurant.
Yeah, so it made me nervous. Yeah. Luckily, the kids are more resilient than the old lady. So that's all we've got for tonight. We will be back Friday night unless some other tragedy hits. Yeah, and hopefully we will have Sutton with us to give us our
Peas Picks.
Yeah. So until then, I am Ozzy.
And I'm Austin.
Have a great week.
See ya.